Hello people of YouTube, it's Deepak here, and welcome to the DCS news stream for the 17th of February 2024. I hope you all enjoyed that, my most recent tutorial on the Viggen, all about the reconnaissance systems of the aircraft. That, of course, maritime reconnaissance being one of the major roles that the aircraft was intended for. Quite flexible, and as I kind of hinted at the start of the video, you could perhaps even use some of these capabilities when conducting reconnaissance over the ground as well. But primarily for maritime reconnaissance. And yes, you can also do visual mode fixes, but you'd have to be insane, because people will shoot at you. It's not great. Welcome to the stream, Tog. Welcome to the stream, Tea Kettle Barbecue, Byron Farrow, John Bluer, Tog again, Storm Kimbari, Pink Floyd. Time for coffee and DCS. Sean I Am 81, welcome to the stream. Wonderful to have you all aboard. I'll do a quick channel update, as I often do. I don't think I have many more videos now to do on the Viggen. There's not that much left to cover, so I'll probably only be doing one or two more of these, and then we're moving on to the Strike Eagle, which is what you all voted for next. That'll be coming very, very soon indeed, and there'll be quite a lot to cover there, so I can imagine I'll be doing Strike Eagle videos for a long time to come. Welcome to the stream, Robbie and Johannes. Welcome. So yes, that's what's going to be happening next, and of course I do still have my series of Harrier videos that I'm working on, some refilmings of those. Also, I was very kindly assisted by dotChuckles today in improving my audio filtering setup, so please let me know if things are sounding different in a good way. Let me know how I'm sounding and if that's an improvement. Certainly to my ear, it sounds vastly improved. dotChuckles being a professional audio and video engineer and movie producer. So he's very much assisted me in this. So, as we often do, let's go straight into the Eagle Dynamics newsletter for this week. Dear fighter pilots, partners, and friends, we've extended the DCS 2024 lunar sale until the 16th of February, which was yesterday, so none of you are going to care about this. On Steam, and until the 25th of February at 1500 GMT on our eShop. Okay, so if you're on Steam, you've already missed that boat. But those of you using the Eagle Dynamics eShop, you're still in luck here. Wow, Tog, yeah, imagine how long the Phantom series will take. Yes, it might be some time. The DCS F4E is undergoing significant improvements to its flight model and flight control system. These improvements center on the F4E landing behavior, landing gear articulation, using altitude autopilot modes, engine response times, and the automatic carrier landing system. Please read about all the new features and improvements we have been working on below. If you are interested in a comprehensive DCS experience, make sure to check out the Digital Coalition Air Force DKAF servers. DKAF Squadron, thank you for your passion and support. JP Gibbons, welcome. Byron Farrow, sounds good. Excellent, I'm glad. I think it is an improvement. Pink Floyd, they extended the sale to keep the children quiet while waiting for the Phantom. Tog, the ghost of VAF strikes again. Oh yes, we'll be talking about VAF later. So the lunar sale, I'm not going to bother going over all of this again. We've been, this has been ongoing for a few weeks now. You can read for yourselves all the modules and other bits and bobs that are discounted. So we'll go all the way down to the FA18C update that we have just now. dotChuckles, the ghost of dotChuckles. It's nice that you're watching the stream and checking out your own hard work, your own professional audio work here on my sound. Oh, and yeah, just be prepared that chat are now going to bombard you with questions. So you did this to yourself. F4E update. The F4E has been one of our most popular DCS aircraft, as it provides a wealth of gameplay options and is nearly feature complete. There are though a number of items that we continue to address that will further improve the realism and attention to detail of this DCS flagship aircraft. Yeah, dotChuckles, he does. Real life sadly having to take a front seat for a while. Yes, that is the way. That is the way. But I want to see a lot of love in chat for dotChuckles. And I also want to see the chance of ... Yes, please. Flight model. For the past several months, we've been improving the flight dynamics of the F/A-18C to represent this aircraft's unique flight qualities even more accurately. Much of this has been focused on expanding the F/A-18C's high angle of attack capabilities by adjusting the stabilizer scheduling. These changes will allow maneuvering up to 50 to 55 AOA compared to the mid-30s earlier. This expanded AOA capability will better allow players to take advantage of the F/A-18C's outstanding low-speed, high AOA maneuver capability. Note that this expanded AOA capability can result in a dramatic loss of airspeed, if not careful. This is going to be very, very welcome, I think, for VAF 416 Squadron, who are our Hornet Squadron. They're going to be having a lot of fun. Yep, Dotman, more bourbon, less scotch. What's a real life, asks Tog. dotChuckles, it's rubbish, I don't recommend. Oh dear. Yes, indeed. Quick reminder, if you haven't already, please subscribe, like, and comment. We're so close to the 10k subscribers now. It's very exciting. Evening Charts, welcome to the stream. Another important improvement is the handling characteristics in powered approach mode when landing. During landing, you will find achieving and maintaining on-speed AOA easier. This is tied to the flight control system changes. Nose pitch effects have also been added when the speed brake is extended and retracted to match the real F/A-18C. Overall aerodynamic dampening has also been improved to better match the F/A-18C handling characteristics. Flight control system. The flight control system, or FICUS, has been completely reworked in all channels, and it provides much improved behaviour when switching the control logic between auto flaps mode to half or full flaps. You will find the transition much smoother, with little to no uncommanded pitching moments. This will also make getting on speed during landings much easier. Roll characteristics have also been improved to better match the real aircraft with greater stability in the roll and yaw channels. This also applies to improved behaviour around the longitudinal axis when taking off. The yaw channel FCS in PA mode has also been adjusted to improve landing control in a crosswind. In total, the improvements in the FCS will make takeoff and landings easier. Right, let's have a look here. People are chatting. John Bluer, I was chatted up by an F-16 pilot today. Wouldn't recommend it either. Are you talking about Frantic? dotChuckles, anyway, pay attention to Deep. Lol, he's the main show. Oh, I don't know. You're a big deal too, dotChuckles. Tog, trying to, but there's a blank spot above him that should be filled by another box. Yes, maybe soon, TM, says dotChuckles. Landing gear. The landing gear shock absorbers were adjusted to match documentation and reference videos. The F/A-18C landing gear articulation is a complex and dynamic process that is accurately modelled for carrier recoveries and touch and go. This change also provides improved landing control in a crosswind and addresses excessive G-loads when landing. Whilst greatly improved, we will continue to tune this mechanic to allow even more accurate nose wheel touch and go behaviour to allow lower airspeed rotation. In addition to the landing gear mechanics, the tyres have also been adjusted to provide more authentic friction forces that will be apparent in crosswind takeoff and landings. Engine transition thrust time was adjusted to be more accurate between afterburner and mill thrust modes. The engine transition time is now faster from afterburner to idle. This allows you to reduce airspeed when cutting the engines to idle more quickly. Autopilot. F/A-18C autopilot operation has been improved by tuning its behaviour when initiating an altitude hold mode whilst the aircraft is unbalanced. The updated autopilot also improves holding the set altitude when in a roll initiated... When in a roll and initiating an altitude hold mode. Before, you would often lose or gain hundreds of feet. Last, the autopilot control is much smoother when transitioning through waypoints in coupled mode. Automatic carrier landing system. When activating the automatic carrier landing system in coupled mode, the autopilot will use smoother and improved approach behaviour. So, get the DCS F/A-18C now at 30% off during the 2024 lunar sale that has been extended to February the 25th, 2024. Excellent. JP Gibbons saw the YF-17 pull max AOA at Point Magoo in the day. That sounds rather exciting. John Bluer. He says no. Good evening, Deepak, says Yogi. Thank you very much for the donation. I salute you, sir. That's extremely kind. Tog, just glad to see you're still alive and well, man. Anyhow, I'll shut up and nicely let Deepak do his job. Welcome to the stream, Leonetzel. Yogi, F4 Phantom launch getting close. What's your prediction, Mr. Deepak? I would go middle of March. So I think, yeah, if we give it 3-4 weeks, something in that region, I think we may well see the Phantom land, as it were. And have you heard any more about the Typhoon? No, absolutely no announcements about the Typhoon as yet. I guess Heatblur are probably remaining quiet while they're continuing to develop it. Fair FM, welcome to the stream. Hello, everyone. Welcome aboard. And then the end of the newsletter, Digital Coalition Air Force multiplayer server. The Digital Coalition Air Force is a fun and engaging way to enjoy DCS online. The members fly on the EU time zone with the DCS F4E Strike Eagle, the DCS F16C Viper, and the DCS AV-8B Night Attack pilots and controllers. Flying some Harriers, I approve. This military simulation group alternates between training and operation seasons. Q1 and Q3 are training seasons when new cadets are screened and trained as per squadron standards. Operation campaign seasons are Q2 and Q4. You can read more about how the 15E's squadron training season would work here. DCAF teaches many bespoke training courses that cadets can access and be assessed on. Make sure to and check out their DCAF Discord. Thank you again for your passion and support. Tea Kettle Barbecue, does anyone else think that's an all-female crew in the F4E at 148 in the latest Heatblur video? We'll have to watch out for that, because that's actually the next thing we're going to look at. So let's have a peek. Chandra Hedgevald, good evening, welcome. Pink Floyd, if there's a chick in my Phantom, better be Anne Margaret. Okay. There's no accounting for personal taste. But yeah, probably the most exciting thing that we had come out this week was, of course, Heatblur's latest video all about the F4 Phantom. This is episode 1, their introduction. They go over again a lot of the kind of FAQ stuff about the release of the F4, but they also detail the variants that we're going to get. We're getting 2 variants of the aircraft, one earlier and one slightly later and upgraded. And they also talk a lot about the component simulation system that they're implementing in this aircraft, which sounds just absolutely fantastic. And of course, the whole thing is brilliantly voiced by our man Jester. Soon, 2 weeks, says dotChuckles. I told you, chat, we're going to ask you. But just look at this absolutely beautiful video. Yeah, really, really nice. Actually, this is a nice shot, really nice shot of the navigational system. This is something I've not seen yet on this particular aircraft. I'm guessing is it like an early, I guess it's either an early INS or it's a Doppler nav system. I don't know which. Kind of looks like a Doppler nav system to me. It kind of looks like the system that you have in the A4. But I'm sure that chat will correct me nonetheless. So at 148, somebody said, let's take a peek there and see about that. Hello all, welcome to the stream. Eagle Wings, Pink Floyd, killer textures. I agree. It's very, very cool looking. Yeah, nice view of the receptacle in the F4 there during air-to-air refueling. Just look at this thing. Is this not beautiful? This is a really good looking aircraft, and it's going to be really interesting to operate as well. And just look at that back seat. Really good. Really nicely modelled back seat. So 148, somebody said. We've got about 20 seconds to go, and then we'll take a look and see what they're talking about here. An all-female crew. That sounds very exciting. Well, that's definitely not a female crew. That's a distinguished gentleman with a mustache. 148, 10 seconds to go. The crew chief, it mentions interacting with the crew chief and also hand signals. That's really, really cool. That's not... Oh, wait a minute. That... It's hard to tell just from a set of eyes, but maybe... Utterly nailed dusty cockpit vibes, having stuck my head in some museum birds. Ooh, it looks spot on. Yeah, I agree. And in fact, here we can see from the video, that is what they in fact did. They stuck their heads into a bunch of different museum birds, is what they did. Just look at this thing. Stunning. Marvellous. And yeah, my prediction is that we may well see this in the next 3 weeks or so. And here, this is the part where they're talking about the, the kind of component modeling system, the way they're simulating individual parts of the aircraft to exacting detail. The Jester even talks about the fact that they're simulating individual components of individual instruments. Even they give the example of the altimeter and the fact that the pointer and the barrels and so on are all individually simulated. It's possible for individual parts of these to break. Yeah, the laundry list on the canopy is pretty funny. With great stash comes great responsibility. I just look at these, the way that some of these indicators jiggle and bounce. And here we go. We get an example of strange behaviors in these. I wonder, given that Heatblur were the first ones to simulate the kind of Mach effects on the pitot, I can only assume they're going to do the same level of simulation here on the Phantom. I was really, really happy to see that, and I think Eagle were so impressed by it that they also implemented it in the F-16 and F-18, and probably some other aircraft. Where sometimes things like your airspeed indicator just hold for a moment, and your altimeter will like wind up suddenly or wind down as you're passing through the speed of sound. It's really, really cool. Eagle Wings, did Lady Pilot ever fly the Phantom? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Oh, maybe in the IAF. Oh, and dotChuckles says the RAF had a female pilot in the 70s. So there you go. And they're showing off some loadouts here on the aircraft. This is fantastic. I'm really happy that Heatblur are giving us this. I wonder what episode 2 will bring. If they'll actually do a kind of tutorial series. They've never done that in the past. That's never really been their style. They're normally kind of just showing off the simulation and the functionalities of the aircraft. But who knows? We'll see. Oh, and of course the radar. Just look at these shots of the radar. This is brilliant. Really, really good. Again, Heatblur with the Viggen being basically the first module maker to simulate an air-to-ground radar in DCS, or at least with this kind of fidelity. So looking very nice indeed. This is a proper old-school radar, of course. Whoosh bang. Goodbye, MiG-25. And the back seat, check out that visibility. And really nice night lighting. I really like this kind of pre-night vision goggle night lighting where it's all in red. It's very, very nice. Ramon Noodle, still no F4. Not yet, but we're expecting it in a matter of weeks, I would say. John Bloor, they've hinted at a naval F4. I wonder if we might get a UK variant down the line. F4G Wild Weasel seems unlikely, but would be rad. So there you go. That is the F4 video that we got this week. Byron Fowler, at the end of the video, they say looking at flight model next. Oh, fantastic. I actually missed that. Tog, imagine they would have females flying them if we still flew them today. Until very, very recently, they were still flying them. Yeah. In fact, the Iranian Air Force probably still flies them. I know Greece and Germany were flying them recently. I don't know if they still do fly them, but yeah, it's it has been flown fairly recently. It's not such an old aircraft. Oh, Frantic Stone, you sound clearer than usual. Thank you very much for the donation. That's extremely kind. We have dotChuckles to thank for that. He spent a lot of time with me today working on my audio setup, adjusting the filters and all that sort of audio magic. So yes, it's thanks to him that I'm sounding better. Excellent work. And yes, if you haven't already, please subscribe, like, and comment. Frantic's being rude again, Deep Hack. Always sounds good. Turkey still has the 2020 Terminator, right? Yes, although that's a very, very different aircraft from what we're getting. So anyway, moving on with the news for this week. There was this article on stormbirds.blog. Always check out stormbirds.blog for your DCS news. Most of what they're talking about I'm already covering in other areas, but there was this one thing that they were talking about in the news, and I couldn't seem to figure out where it was. They mentioned the fact that it's on the DCS World forums. I couldn't find it, so maybe I'm just being daft. But anyway, new MB339 skin and tease future India Foxed Echo module. India Foxed Echo are adding a new T-Bird 2 livery representing the modified MB339 presented as part of the American Joint Primary Aircraft Training System, JPATS program. The T6 Texan 2 ultimately won the competition, but we get the livery for it anyway. And if I click on this image, we can get a larger version of that, looking very cool indeed. So yes, that's kind of cool. We also have a tease for a future India Foxed Echo module for DCS World after their current G91 project is complete. Keep in mind, India Foxed Echo are working on the Fiat G91. Developer 6S Duke confirmed that the results of a recent poll have resulted in some decisions being made within the developer and a license having been secured. We're going to consider your preferences for our future projects, taking into account also the access to the real aircraft and documentation. For the moment, we want you to know that we got a license for a new exciting project for DCS World. We cannot provide any details yet, but we can say that the next project after the G91 won't be Italian nor European, but it is an aircraft that flew in Europe during one recent conflict. Let the speculation begin. So chat, tell me, what do you think it is? What could it be that India Foxed Echo will be working on after the G91? Exciting times we live in. Very exciting. Cool. And then another item that I wanted to jump into is Miltech 5 and their Facebook page. If we jump in and take a little look at this, these are actually from over the last kind of week and a bit, but I haven't been covering them recently. But we have a bunch of pictures. I'm going to start off on this one from the 9th of February. Dear Simmers, there is always a way to convince the enemy that he is evil. One of them is to convince the enemy with HOTS, and one is to curse at the enemy. Another way, if everything fails, is to convince him with lead. That's why we have a G36. This is planned. I know that the magazine is transparent, but the renderer thinks it's not. We also plan to share some in-flight videos with it in the next months. So take a little look at this. Isn't this exciting? Very, very cool. And that's where it will be stored in the cockpit. And I guess the idea is that we'll have the ability to lean out the doors, as we will be able to in the Kiowa Warrior, and fire this weapon. I like the fact also it's with the original terrible sights for the G36, so that's cool. Yeah, Frantic Stone, it's the F-35. 737 MAX says bread. Frantic Stone, 737-9 MAX, only money Boeing will be making. dotChuckles, something that flew in the Balkans, maybe. That's probably a good guess. Yogi, did you see Spudknocker's performance improvements video for DCS? I saw that he posted it, but I have not watched it yet. I almost certainly will. So yeah, that's a post all about the G36. They then posted one all about doing the animations for the pilot. I have to say, these pilot models are looking really good. For a module maker that hasn't released anything yet, this is looking like a fairly high standard for their first attempt. And then a little bit later, we also got some animations, which I think are looking very, very nice indeed. This looks like the pilot model for the B105. I want chat to tell me what emotions you think the pilot is expressing here. But yeah, honestly, this looks pretty good. Do we think this is motion captured, or is this just pure animation? I can't really tell. It looks fairly convincing to me. Turning off Windows Defender. Yeah, probably. So yeah, looking very, very good indeed. We then also got this one here, which shows us a bit of full body animations as well. Given the way that the pilot is moving, I'm suspecting that this is motion capture, but perhaps someone more knowledgeable can tell me one way or the other. But it very much looks like motion capture to me. Very, very nice. I wonder, how many of these animations will actually be used in the game. Very cool. And then for the very, very last post, this is just a day ago, they posted this little meme here, which is kind of funny. Entering the A10C, arming the A10C, you forgot the TGP, you know you're effed. Very amusing. Very amusing. And yeah, apparently our pilot has facial hair, but not head hair. Cool. Very, very cool. So, very nice bunch of image updates from Miltech 5. Take a little look at their Facebook page if you'd like to learn more. John Bloor, gotta be mocap, he says. Frantic Stone, those eyes rolling look like my wife's. She's never told me she got a new income stream. Well-rigged face muscles, says Tog. Sean M81, looks like my co-pilot when I'm flying a heli. Ah, yes, we've all been there. One moment, I think I need to sneeze. The fact that I announced it means that it went away. Fair enough. dotChuckles, oh, Soko J22, maybe. I'm not familiar with that aircraft. I now have to look at that. Soko J22. Well, it's it would be in keeping with the aircraft that they've done so far, which have all been kind of smaller, light CAS and training aircraft. This is listed as an attack and reconnaissance aircraft. Soko J22 Orao is a Yugoslavian twin-engine subsonic ground attack aerial reconnaissance aircraft. Yeah, who knows? Who knows? That definitely counts as European, and it would match the time period. So, very interesting. Very interesting. Very nice. Yes, yeah, that before sneeze feeling. Terrible. Cool. So yes, a bunch of really exciting news for this week. Really cool stuff. Very much looking forward to the next videos coming out of Heatblur all about the Phantom. I'll be watching all of those very, very intently. But that's all the news that we have for this week. So as always, I'm going to take this opportunity to pimp the VAF, as we always do. The VAF, or the Virtual Air Force, is a virtual online squadron originally started by myself and the venerable dotChuckles, who's in chat right now, many, many moons ago. We fly every Tuesday and Thursday. We have a generic fixed-wing squadron and a generic rotary wing squadron, but we also have dedicated squadrons for the Harrier, the F-15, the F-16, the F-18, and we already have a squadron for the F-4, despite it not actually being out yet. But we are recruiting for the F-4 right now, and of course, we're expecting the Phantom to drop any minute now. Very, very exciting stuff. You'll see a link to our Discord in the chat right now, and if you're watching this after the fact, in the show notes below. Everybody's welcome, whether you fly with us or not. So come join the Discord, hang out. There's a bunch of cool stuff going on. We're always looking for more pilots, air traffic controllers, scripters, mission makers, livery makers, everybody. We want everybody. Everybody should come and join the VAF now. It's good fun. It's the B-2 bomber, says Frantic Stone. Looks like an upgraded Jaguar, says Yogi. Yes, it does kind of. Not European. I thought they said European. Let me just double check this. Yes, it's not Italian or European, but it is an aircraft that flew in Europe. Ah, well, there you go. There you go. Byron Farrow, if AMX counts as Brazilian, which it mostly is, and it was also used by the Italians. Exciting. Yes, I guess that is entirely possible. So, yes, again, that is everything that we have for this week. Please, if you haven't already, subscribe, like, and comment. It's a really big help to me into the channel. We're so close to that 10k subscribers now. If you would like to further help me, you have the option of joining Deephack's ground crew for a small monthly fee, around about the cost of a coffee per month. You can do that by clicking the join button below. I really appreciate those of you who've already done so. Big shout out to Auto Thrust Blue, Byron Farrow, Storm Kimbari, Channel Right, Mangash, J.R. Walker, Chandler Hedgevald, Griff Nizzle, Mr. Yeti, Bread, Tier Zero, Sean IM81, Charts, John Bloor, Mr. Craptacular, Tea Kettle Barbecue, Springer11, Whiskey Dale, Leo Netzel, Stuart McLean, Frantic Stone, and Pink Floyd. Thank you very much, all of you. I really appreciate your support, and I really appreciate everybody's support. Even if you just watch this video and hit the thumbs up button, you're all right by me. So, I've been Deepak. I release a new tutorial video every Saturday at 6:30 PM UK time. Currently doing a series on the Viggen, although that's just drawing to a close now, and very, very soon I'll be starting my new series all about the F-15E Strike Eagle. So stay tuned for that. That's always followed by the DCS News, which just happens to be this thing, what you're watching right now. Thank you all very much for watching, fly safe, and I'll see you all next time. Ta-ta!